Friday's almost here. We have some dealers coming, and I'm excited to have you meet them and to show them around. I'm very proud of all of y'all's departments. We're gonna take a look at each of your departments and show them. And you know what? I've heard it said that if we would be able to see some of the restaurants that we like to eat at, how the kitchen looks, let's just say this, my wife would never want to eat there if she could see how the kitchen looks at the end of the day. And that's how we're going to build trust here at Lamar. We're going to let them walk into the back, and they're going to see our processes that we have, how our floor is clean, how organized we are. That's an indication of attention to detail. We pay attention to detail. But if we have everything laying around, it's dirty and there's just chaos, no labels, then our customers can't trust that our trailers will be neat and organized and attention to detail. So it's very important for us. And the way our shop looks is how our trailers are gonna end up being. So it's important. I took some pictures this afternoon, and some areas that have been like that for a while and we get immune to it. You know, we walk by it every day and soon we don't see it anymore. So I'm not picking on anyone, but I want these pictures to be a reminder of some areas that they will see that we need to clean up before Friday if possible. Thank you, guys.
Just a couple of pallets and tires that need to be organized, and that bin needs to be emptied and straightened out. These are the leads for welders, when the stackers or anybody in the shop, whether it's the parts guys, any hourly employee that isn't busy, they need to be taking these apart, taking the copper out so that we can sell it. And these are just some random areas in the shop, especially from line 1 through line 4 or so. Needed a lot of cleaning up to do. Line 4 to line 7 looked really nice, and the rest of the lines as well. And then here's just a rack that I noticed that is empty. If it's usually empty, then we could put it in the backyard somewhere. Pallets and another pallet of items that are just kind of standing in the middle of the room, and that's annoying to see that you need to have them scooted up against a pole or somewhere against the wall. And here's just some random areas that need to be cleaned up. And I know you guys are probably planning on cleaning it up, at least the obvious ones, but hopefully this is still a good reminder for some areas that you might not be thinking about. And also it's maybe hard to see where these areas are at, which department, but go look in your own department and just, these are the things to look for. If the item is not being used, it needs to be brought to the red tag area. Here I've been noticing there's a lot of empty racks usually each week when I go through these, so maybe we can consolidate these because there's like 4 or 5 empty ones, and take one of the racks out or fill them up. And this bin seems to be full each time I go out there. It was full Friday, and it's full today on Monday. Just some extension cords that need to be rolled up and hung up each day. And this is a hydraulic hose or the greaser, I'm not sure. Looks like there's not a lot of care being taken here in the hydraulics area. And some of this stuff, like this and the next slide, it's hard to know maybe where to put it or how to do it, but maybe there's just a little table needed or something, but it looks so disorganized. This item here, it needs to be up against a wall somewhere, or maybe a more permanent place because it's also standing crooked and it looks like it's out of place. Some extra racks here, and another extra table here, things that are not being used. Bring them out, and if you need them later on, bring them back in. Another empty rack, and some parts inside the weld line that are used and some that are not being used. And these have been empty now for a couple of years, I think so. So might be time to remove them. A couple debris items outside. Pallets again in the middle, just crooked. No extra racks here again. 3 racks, that could be 1 rack and it would be enough. And these items have been here for a long time. I don't know whose tire that is, but also these items around the diesel tank. They've been there for a while, looks like, and there's just no rhyme or reason for those items to be there. We need to stop letting that happen. Again, this is annoying to me. Like, these should all be on one pile, all of these pallets, instead of 10 different piles. again in the shop a little bit. And then here's a list of the full bins. This is Monday, so here's one full trash, and I didn't walk the whole shop. There may have been more, but these are the ones I noticed that were full. So the forklift drivers, or someone needs to have the responsibility. Used to, it was always the forklift drivers when I was a forklift driver. By the end of the week, I had to have all the bins empty, and so that at the beginning of the week they were ready to go. So I don't know if that's not the case here, or what we need to put in place that this doesn't happen. Obviously, some of these have been long overdue to get emptied. One last time, all together, I'm super proud of where we're at. But each day until Friday, I'm gonna be walking the shop to make sure that we make progress on these simple little items that most of it just needs to be cleaned up and trashed. So if we all work together, I think we can achieve it and get it done pretty quick, since most of these are just simple items. But the trick is going to be to maintain it so that we don't have to do this each time we have dealers coming, right? Because this is who we are, a stable, clean, and fun place to work. Thanks, guys.